Before we have a look at this ingenious home, let's see what else is on the show tonight. We'll go into the emergency room to see some intricate plastic surgery. Tara remodels a drab family room into a cosy formal lounge. And Rebecca visits the city apartment of celebrity snipper Joe Bailey. Back at the treetop retreat, where the owners have gone to great lengths to get high up amongst the branches. The house has a central communal living area, and this graceful arching bridge joins that to the separated sleeping quarters of 3 couples who pooled their resources to build a country hideaway like no other. The house is made up of separate pods. The centre building contains the kitchen and living areas, while the 2 outer buildings have 2 bedrooms in each. One of the owners, Sammy Renouf, thinks they've found the perfect balance between relaxing seclusion and communal holidaying. It's a great idea. How did it come about?
The whole project evolved over copious amounts of amber fluid. So...
Beer?
Beer. The more beer that was drunk, the bigger the house got.
What was the initial concept, as you remember?
I guess the problem always that when people share a house is there are some days that you can get on top of one another. And the way this house has been designed is everyone can go away to separate pods, and you don't even know that one another is here if you don't need to be communicating or whatever.
A sophisticated commune.
Yeah, we're all turning into yippies.
Yippies.
Yeah, a yuppie and a hippie together. When one couple is down here, for example, Craig and myself, we basically can choose any room that we wish to go to. And I guess summertime, I really like the lower pod in summertime. It's cool, nice and cool. The upper sleeping area, the upper pod, the view from that is just spectacular.
How much do you love it?
I love it so much that I could really stop working and live down here forever.
There's a delicate operation going on behind me that requires a steady hand, a cool head and a keen eye. All the skills necessary for successful plastic surgery. The man performing the craniofacial restoration is Wayne Scott. He and his wife Carmen run the Campbell Dolan Toy Hospital southwest of Sydney. The safety glasses and mask are not for show. This vintage doll dates back to the 50s and could contain lead-based paints, so Wayne takes no chances. Carmen and Wayne restore and repair dolls and toys, and no job is too big or small. So tell us, how did all this madness begin?
Oh, it started about, what, 1984, 1985? Yeah. Collecting. We started off with the children as a hobby. We thought the girls are little, so we thought, what could we do that would be of interest to the family?
And from there, how did it become a business?
Well, what we did was a local shopping centre here knew about our display and said, could we put it into in effect like a museum and show it in their shopping centre? That was fine, we did that. Then next minute, all these people started coming to us saying, could you repair my doll? First of all, it started off part-time to see whether it could grow, and it took over.
So what was the background that made you able to do all these things?
Well, I did do spray painting, so that was a good background for finishing the dolls, the painted dolls. Just good mechanical aptitude.
You put on quite a little show for the customers, don't you, with the hospital paraphernalia?
Yeah.
What's all that about?
Well, we just like to show them that we do have care with their stuff, because some ladies, if they're an 80-year-old lady, they may have had the doll for 75 years or something. So we want to show them when we're outside and we've got the doll that we store it properly and we handle it with care, and we really do try and look after them as if they're ours to make the lady feel at ease.
I'm sure some of the dolls feel at ease too. Many of them get to spend time around the pool after their operations. Not only is it relaxing, it helps dry the paint.
So what do you tell your mates down at the pub that you do for a living?
I try not to go down there.
For your chance to win the Great Australian Dream in the Sorbent $1 million prize pool challenge, simply cut out 2 barcodes and send them into the draw of your choice, including the Sorbent House and Land package. Watch our house for more details, and the more you use, the more you could win.
As lounge rooms go, this one looks a lot like many others we've seen before. Nothing really wrong with it, but nothing really right with it either. Certainly there's room for improvement, but what to do? One thing we do know is that the owners are tired of the drab look and want this space to be a little more formal. Well, I thought we could turn this room into a winter wonderland. Very warm and cosy with a fireplace going and a beautiful feature wall that'll bring out the best in the furniture. Now, first things first, the fireplace and what to do with it. Well, the owners haven't used it in a very long time and they're not even sure if it works. Well, we can certainly solve that. The first thing to do is find out if your fireplace still has an open chimney. And the easiest way is to grab some newspaper, scrunch them up into a couple of balls and light them. If the smoke goes into the room rather than up the chimney, it may be blocked. Fortunately for these owners, the smoke is drawn up the chimney. But if you have any doubts, call in a chimney sweep who can test and clean the chimney out. The owners have decided to install a gas fireplace, so a pipe is connected to the gas outlet by drilling through the brickwork. If you decide to go for a wood-burning fire, make sure it complies with building code requirements. While they're doing that, I've got some help to start taking everything out. Cheryl promised he would help me transform this cabinet, so before we go any further, we'll send it off to the workshop.
I think what Tara had in mind here was a couple of shelves above the TV. I know that it extends out the back here, so I'll have to allow for that. As you can see, I've already sanded the old unit because when this is all finished, it's going to be painted. Because we're restricted by the size of the telly, I can't fit full side panels. So what I'll do is use 2 uprights and 2 front pieces with beveled edges. As I said, Tara's going to paint the unit, so I don't have to worry about matching timber. So I'm using 16mm MDF that gets glued and screwed together. I'll fill and sand all these countersunk screw holes later. That's how our little side piece is going to work. That'll be fixed like so. As you can see, the shelves are going to go here, matching one on the other side. And this here will be fixed like that to support the shelves at the back. Now I can glue and screw the 2 lower shelves to the uprights. Before the top shelf goes on, I'll take the edge off with a rollover bit in the router. With these 2 shelves here, if I don't put a back on it, things are liable to fall through. So I thought about 16mm, but maybe a bit top heavy. Instead, I'll put a little batten up the top here and in here and use some 3mm stuff, and that should do the job. I'm using some scrap pine for the battens, or you could rip down some of the 16mm MDF instead. The 3mm backing can be stapled or tacked on, no need for glue, because it won't be under any strain. Finally, I'll add 3 pieces of decorative moulding under the top shelf. And that's it. Now I can handball it back to Tara for painting.
lounge room makeover, and the insulation for the fireplace is being placed on either side before the unit is installed and the front plate attached. This one from Jetmaster suits the room perfectly. Just the final piece to go on, the gas cap on top of the chimney. Well, the fireplace is nearly done, so now I can get on with the painting. I've decided to make this wall a feature by painting it a different colour to the rest of the room. The owners would like purple, so I've chosen a shade called Grape Arbor. Now, it's quite a strong colour, so I'll paint the rest of the walls off-white so it doesn't make the room look too closed in. The Grape Arbor will also create a warm feel to the room. While the off-white won't change the colour much, it will make it cleaner and brighter. And because it's a bumpy wall, a roller with a long nap has to be used to get into all the nooks and crannies. Once that's done, I can get back and finish the paint job on the mantelpiece. Feature walls can really add a dramatic difference to a room, and the thing I like most about them is that for a couple of hours work using a different colour, you can give the room a whole new look. With the paint dry on the walls, I can start putting the paintings back up. And this second-hand dressing table mirror was my best bargain for the room at only $30. On the floor, I've used some non-slip material before rolling out a great shag pile Flicati rug, very comfy. Some cushions and throws will make it feel a little warmer. And Shirl's job on the cabinet was perfect. It looks fantastic. By keeping the furniture and paintings, we managed to keep the cost of this makeover to just over $550. The gas fireplace cost $2,585 installed, but this once dull room now has a lot more personality. On a cold winter's day, I can't imagine anything better than relaxing on a nice soft rug with my favourite magazine, a cup of hot chocky and a warm fire. After another big makeover, this is definitely the best part.
Every year, round about this time, we like to trot out a couple of recipes which will really hit the spot during our winter months. Things to eat which are full of flavour, hearty and certainly warming, perfect partners for the cold weather. Today we're going to do braised oxtail, and you can't go wrong with it. I've trimmed the fat off 3 kilos of oxtail, and I'm just seasoning them before I brown them off in a pan. Now, don't overcrowd the pan, because if you do, you'll end up stewing them. As you brown them, transfer the pieces into an oven-proof dish. Once they're all done, use the same pan with those juices to cook up 2 diced onions, 2 diced carrots, a chopped up leek and a couple of sticks of celery, also chopped. And there's a couple of cloves of garlic in there too. When they're softened, add them to the pot, along with 500 grams of chopped up tomatoes and a sprig of thyme. Move it around a little and then pour in enough beef stock to cover it all. And that gets cooked in a 175-degree oven for 2 hours. Moving right along, the next step is to take the meat and the bones from this pan, set it aside. Everything that's left in here is then forced through a sieve. Then we bring that back to the boil and let it reduce. It's a good idea to cover the meat and keep it warm. Using a ladle, lift all the juice out and then push it through a sieve with a wooden spoon. Okay, while that's doing its thing, I'll get on to the last stage of this dish, and that's to prepare a garnish, which will really set it off. So once again, I'm cooking some onion, some celery and some carrot, but this time in butter. Melt the butter till it's nice and golden, which will give it all a lovely flavour. And then cook the vegetables until brown. Now you can serve. On a bed of mashed potato, place 2 or 3 pieces of the meat. Then spoon on some sauce and the vegetable garnish. And it's absolutely heartwarming and delicious.
Now you'd have to agree that this comfy couch looks like any other you've seen in the major furniture stores, but this little baby has one big difference. It comes in a box with no tools required, and in less than 10 minutes the pieces are easily put together to form a great looking piece of furniture. How's that for practicality and design? Also, you don't have to wait for months to receive the one you ordered. You just buy it, take it away and put it together. And you only need 12 bolts for the whole thing. There are 4 main pieces in the box. All you have to do is match the numbers and screw it together. The base is fully sprung, adding extra strength and durability. Just add the backrest and then the colour. There's a choice of 4 different coloured covers. They're machine washable and they'll match almost any decor. This 2-seater Passion couch is $899. There's also a 2.5-seater for $999.
Now it's time to announce the winners of draw number 3 in the Sorbent $1 Million Prize Pool Challenge. Congratulations to these lucky people. You're all off on a family holiday to the Sheraton Mirage Gold Coast, each valued at $10,000. Now there's still one more to go, the big one. The ultimate Sorbent House and Land package, valued at up to $500,000. This great prize also includes finishing touches from the team here at our house, like the best layout for casual living. Plus we'll bring in a top landscaper to make your garden something special. To enter for draw number 4, send in 2 barcodes from any Sorbent toilet tissue pack. Make sure your entries are in by June 12 and we'll announce the winners on our house on June 17th. So make sure you're in the big one.
What do these fabulous women have in common? Kylie Minogue, Olivia Newton-John, Linda Evangelista, Judy Davis, even the late Princess of Wales. Well, they've all entrusted their tresses to the same celebrity snipper, and he lives somewhere up there. This is the Horizon apartment block in Sydney. And this is the view from the 24th floor. For almost 3 years, hairdresser to the stars Joe Bailey has lived here. Well, he's recovered here between running his business and partying hard. But Joe's about to change his lifestyle.
I've sort of done the party circuit and I've done the sort of this circuit and that. And I'm getting a little bit older. I just sort of want to have some ground around me, sort of chill out a bit, ride, garden, things to do, a few more things to do on the weekend than nurse a hangover, I suppose.
Of all the famous people Joe has worked on, his favourite was Diana, Princess of Wales.
Yeah, no, that was very special. It's actually the highlight of my career. I spent quite a bit of time with her because she was here for 5 days and I did her hair every day, at least once a day.
Joe, take us through the apartment. Take us on a guided tour.
Okay. The big wall that comes down, right down from the hallway to the living room, I put a plaster horizon sort of zigzaggy wall, which is just like a feature wall. And I sort of wanted the idea in here of a bit of a genie's bottle, somewhere you could just sort of crash out with all the cushions. And then there's 2 bedrooms, one of which is a guest room. My bedroom has silk taffeta walls. The whole walls are sort of covered in silk taffeta and they have these amazing big curtains. I made the bedroom a real hangover room. It can go totally black, you can totally control the temperature and the noise, so you can actually go into this sort of zone.
So are you going to take all this furniture with you to the country?
Probably
or are you
not.
going to clean slate, start again?
Yeah, I probably not. I mean, I'll take bits and pieces that I've had for years, but no, I doubt it. I think I'll probably go for something a bit more country-ish.
Well, that's just about it from us. Don't forget, more information about anything you've seen on the show can be found on our website at 9msn.com.au or in the latest issue of the Our House magazine. OK, before we go, let's see what's on next week. Rebecca looks at how technology is helping to catch termites in the act. We'll visit the home of world-renowned glass artist Peter Crisp. And Tara goes for an antique country look when she makes over a young girl's bedroom.
And I came across this little dressing table in a junk shop recently. I knew for only $50 I had to have it.
Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.